that was very challenging because it looks like a blatant bad continuity cut, but there's a lovely moment where Gertrude reaches up and kind of brushes her hair, and we kind of do an action cut on that and find that the ghost is in one shot, but the continuity of action carries through, and then the ghost isn't there. So I'd say that was the one scene that was kind of most challenging and most rewarding when we finished it.
Guys, would you just carry on, just so we can see how much further we can actually get here?
What will I do? Towards the end of the closet scene, you see him almost connecting with her as a parent and child again, which is quite overwhelming, I think, for Hamlet and for Gertrude, that they sort of remember what their actual relationship is, because it's been destroyed by everything that's happened.
At the end of the closet scene, it's almost like he's vented his spleen and he's exhausted. And David and I would be just looking at each other, looking at the floor, both of us completely exhausted. And normally with Shakespeare, if the pause isn't built in, if you can see a half line, then you know it's a pause. But we just allowed ourselves that moment because both of the actors involved were exhausted because the scene had been exhausting. But that was a very living chemistry.
Save me and overhaul me with your wings, you heavenly gods.
Cut. Well done, guys. That was brilliant.
It was fantastic. The overlap was not a problem at all.
From the murder of Polonius onwards, it does become much more of a thriller because events tumble over one another, whether it's Claudius getting rid of Hamlet to England, Ophelia going mad, Laertes coming back demanding revenge.
It's hard to stage that. It's actually hard to stage the whole of the last scene. It's a beast.
Give us the foils, come on. Here we go, second sequence. Come on, what say you?
Terrific. We started rehearsing the sword fight almost immediately and just built it up slowly.
Okay, and then so we make the other diagonal. Target, that's better, that's better. Very good.
Some actors pick it up very quickly. Some actors take quite a long time to remember it or internalise it so that they can do it again and again.
Okay, here we go, here we go.
We had slightly more space here, which allowed us just to open it out slightly, but it's almost exactly the same as it was on stage. And luckily kind of came back to us. It'd been 6 months, just about, since we'd done it. And yet, after 10 minutes rehearsal, it was all back in there. I guess it's like dance choreography, really. It goes to a slightly different part of your brain.
Okay, here we go, here we go. That's better. Terrific. Happy on that? Yeah. Fantastic.
Filming it was great because you could get, you didn't have to sit back and watch the whole thing from a sort of distance as the audience did. You could get right in among the fight as things crashed over and as they chased around the stage.
Between the two of them, they have sorted that he is now going to swap the blunted sword for the unblunted sword.
In the theatre, the actors have to be able to do it from beginning to end and do it continuously every night, once a night. Whereas doing it for film or television, you tend to do it in little bits, so they don't have to remember big chunks together.
Nothing neither way, my lord.
Come on, sir.
Come on, sir.
We did the fight, it must be about 20 times, and I was absolutely knackered. Because, of course, you did the fight the first time, we went for it, and then did it again, fine, OK. And then by the 5th time, I was like, that's got to be it. So, no, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning, we've got another 6 hours of it yet. So it was one of the most exhausting days of my life.
Come on, The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unblunted and envenomed.
The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again, thy mother's poison. I can no more. The king! The king's to blame.
I thought, well, what if in that moment Claudius has a choice? He could go on denying it. He could go on trying to pretend that Hamlet was mad. He could try and pretend that it was all Laertes' idea, which is a thought that does cross his head at one point. I can put all of this on Laertes. That would work.
Oh, yet defend me, friends! I am but hurt!
Here.
So he has a choice to drink or not drink. And it's true, at most performances, and I think on camera, I would shrug before drinking. But why I shrugged, I'm keeping to myself. And that's up to the audience to decide for themselves what that shrug means.
Follow my mother!
When he finally does kill Claudius, it's sort of in a bit of a mess and a muddle at the end when everybody else is dying all around him and he's already dying himself.
Heaven make thee free of it.
I follow thee.
Horatio, I'm dead.
Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
As Hamlet finally dies in Horatio's arms, he says the fascinating line.
Rest is silent.
I think it's interesting that his final word is "the rest is silent," which would seem to me to indicate that I'm not heading off to heaven, I'm heading off to oblivion. And perhaps there's a relief in that for Hamlet, because the torture of a final judgment for him would, I think, be almost unbearable.
It's important to make decisions about interpretation, but it's also important to allow a line's resonance to resonate in an audience, to allow them to hear and understand the line in their own context, if you like.
Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
The music for Hamlet, the TV film, essentially is very atmospheric and mostly underscore. We're here at Air Studios, and we're fortunate enough to be in the hall, which is the biggest of Air Studios, and it's an old church building, and it has a wonderful acoustic.
When I first saw the cut through, I didn't think we needed any music at all, apart from, you know, the fanfares or the underscoring of the play or whatever. But when you start getting it in, it's very seductive. It really draws you in.
Now might I do it bad? Now he is praying. And now I'll do it!
It was fascinating. I mean, it was a thrill for me to sort of watch my little film and have all these people working so hard and flat out on creating this extraordinary soundscape for it.
To do this play, this great play, at the heart of this great company, with a group of actors of such extraordinary talent, then to be able to take that on into another medium has been a very special experience, because they're difficult, these plays.
That's really rare, that something is so live after a year of doing it.
You know, it takes a long time to understand what these plays are about, to work out how they work in front of an audience, and it's been great being able to translate that into the different medium of the film. What's the news with you? Told us of some suit.
It's been, well, an extraordinary privilege to get to play this part, and to get to play it at the Royal Shakespeare Company, which is the kind of thing that at drama school you allow yourself brief fantasies about, and never really allow yourself to entertain the notion that it might possibly happen.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest.
And I wish everyone could have a go at playing Hamlet, because I really think it's a life-changing thing to do.
It's such a privilege to be able to do that, to be able to film something that you've performed many, many times on stage, as it was with this. And it was all over far too quickly.